This is the Honor Magic 6 Pro, a true top level flagship that's looking to compete with your S24 Ultras, your iPhones, your OnePlus 12s of the world. And our initial use of it has been incredibly positive beyond one sticking point, which we'll get to later in the review. However, let's talk about specifications because that's what we're here for. So you get a 6.8 inch LTPO OLED display, peak brightnesses peaks at 5000 nits of peak brightness outside, incredible. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, 12 gig of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage is the variant we got, UFS 4.0, and then battery and charging is insane, right? Take a note, every other smartphone manufacturer except for OnePlus. 5600 milliamp hour battery, 80 watt wired, 66 watt wireless. Whew, insane spec, but that's only part of it. We're going to split this review into two sections. We're going to talk about the cameras, which are pretty beefy, and then we're going to talk about the performance. Now, the performance will cover everything from the display, the processor, the speed of the device, the look, feel, fit, finish, everything will come into performance. But let's first talk about those pretty insane looking cameras on the back of the Honor Magic 6 Pro. On the rear, you get a 50 megapixel wide, a 180 megapixel telephoto with a periscope lens on the back, capable of zooming up to 100x, as brandished very nicely on the back there, and then a 50 megapixel ultra wide. Front facing camera is 50 megapixels. Oh my god, the performance on these cameras is absolutely insane, like incredible. Going by DxOMark's breakdown as well, this is one of the top 3 phones you can buy right now in terms of its camera performance. I think it's the Huawei P60 or P70 that sits above it, I think, and that's pretty much the only one. And it shows. Like when we got the phone and we started taking photos, as you can see in the samples and videos you're seeing now, the output's insane. Color reproduction, the color saturation, the lifelike of colors, how it brings out the richness, the depth of the colors is amazing. And this is a quick pull out, bang, shoot kind of scenario. This is not, you know, you're waiting, you're taking everything, you're adjusting your lighting, you're waiting for the right, no, this is just out and shoot, out, shoot, out and shoot. Incredible. Ultra wide, you don't even get much of the blurring on the side as well, so it's pretty great. And then your nighttime photos, again, incredibly detailed. I would say the only thing with the night photos is it does punch out the dark areas and makes them overly bright. But besides that, because the photos in the nighttime we've taken here are like, you know, sort of 11 to half 10, 11 o'clock at night, so it's pretty much pitch black. So you'd expect it to be not as bright in those areas. But overall, we look at the camera performance, including portrait mode, etc. The performance is incredible. It's unbeatable how good this looks. Then if you move into video, again, the way the color is reproduced, and this is all running in vibrant mode, because this is what we're used to seeing in terms of the Samsung. They do quite a lot of color saturation, it's quite vibrant. So we want to reflect it on that piece, is also take that into account. Again, video is very, very good. 4K 30 or 60 on the rear, or 4K 30 on the front. Excellent. Again, it's very much point and shoot for us. We're not doing a lot of adjustments beyond just making sure the viewfinder is in the right aspect ratio. So camera performance wise is probably one of the most impressive we've ever used. Now though, we're going to move away from cameras and we're going to talk about the performance. Honor Magic 6 Pro performance. So Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 powering it and using the menus, the software, it has been faultless. No issue at all from our front in terms of usability, navigating menus. There's been no slowdown, no ghosting, no judder, nothing. It's been an absolute pleasure to use. And one of the things we would say is, even generally scrolling on the phone, just through your menus or through an article, etc., the whites are like a nice sort of not overly harsh white, and the blacks are rich and deep. So you get in a really, like in terms of watching or like reading content, it feels nicer on the eye. And honestly, the best example we can give you of how great that screen is, it's incredible, but you truly appreciate it when you're watching content. So any sort of video you're watching on here with any sort of color, any show, any TV, anything, it's gonna make the best use of those colors because the screen is insane. It's easily the best screen we've ever used. And again, if you go to DxOMark, they rank it as a top screen that you can use as well. So it's an incredible achievement. Now in terms of raw performance, Call of Duty gaming on here, no slowdowns, no issues at all with frame rates, running in higher settings, didn't get warm or anything. The only time it ever got warm or felt warm to touch was when we were charging it or when it was wirelessly charging, but both of those run at pretty high wattages, so that can be expected. And then battery life, 2 hours of gaming on Call of Duty, screen brightness about 3/4, again, didn't take much of that 5600 milliamp hours away. So generally speaking, this is an absolute monster of a phone when it comes to content, gaming, scrolling, all your day to day, and then combined with that camera, it's a pretty tasty scenario. So what are our final thoughts on the Honor Magic 6 Pro? At the start of this review, we talked about the things that we loved. So the display, the cameras, the fit, the feel, the finish, everything. And let's talk about that color, stunning. And the rear camera design, although quite intimidating, we love it. There's one thing we don't love though, price. So this costs here in the UK, £1,100. So if you just do a direct translate into dollars, you're looking about roughly $1,100. Now we know the spec and the performance and the output makes sense with that $1,100. The biggest problem we have though is that it does pretty much everything you'd ever want it to do, but it's going to take a big enthusiast or someone who just doesn't want your Samsung, your Apple phone, your Pixel phone, your Xiaomi phone, and they're consciously choosing the Honor Magic 6 Pro. It's a great device. The price may be off-putting. I think at the moment you can get it for £850 with a certain amount of discounts, but when that goes, it is £1,100 naturally anyway. That would be the only sticking point we'd say. But beyond that, if you don't care about that and you want what's best available right now, bang for buck, and something that will genuinely blow you away, and which it has, and we review phones pretty much every week, this has genuinely blown us away, then the Honor Magic 6 Pro is literally unparalleled. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, as always, we out.